I went to see Dracula, a comedy of terrors, and here is a very short video about why you should go too. Greetings, Jelly Spoons, and welcome back to the Monday Madness Show, the Monday show where I talk about anything and everything, and this week we're talking about Dracula, a comedy of terrors. So this is where I was this weekend. I was on the other side of London going to watch this show at the Menier chocolate factory. It was amazing. It's also why I didn't post a video on Friday for the OC story. I'm sorry about that. I will make it up to you by posting an extra long one this Friday with, I don't know, a couple of twists and turns in it. We'll see what happens. It's an improv story. I can promise you twists and turns I might forget on Friday, but I will post a video this Friday, I promise. But for now, let's talk about Dracula, a comedy of terrors. Yes, I bought the poster and the programme. I am a merch whore, and if I love a show, I'm going to buy as much merch as possible, you know, without breaking the bank. I'll just eat beans on toast for the rest of the week. These were worth it. So what is Dracula, a comedy of terrors? Well, Dracula, a comedy of terrors. The creatives are authors Gordon Greenberg and Steve Rosen. Gordon Greenberg was also the director. And I, like so many other people I imagine, discovered this show from the wonder that is TikTok and Instagram. So this show was nowhere near the UK when I first started seeing video clips. It was somewhere in America or Canada, somewhere over the water, and I was seeing video clips of it. Everyone, I think, saw that classic one of the, and then dressed in black.
Count Dracula, nice to meet you.
And then this Greek god of a man steps through a doorway wearing black lace and next to nothing else, and I mean, most of us were hooked from that moment on, I must say. Yet another gender goal acquired. Pop that on the pin board. I then, of course, followed them on all their social media. They've been getting quite a lot of traction. They posted more clips from the show, from rehearsals. Everyone just looks so funny and so engaging. And then they announced that they were coming to the UK. And I, like apparently many other people, raced to buy tickets because I snagged the last few. The night I went to was a Saturday night in London and it was completely sold out. From what I could see, the matinee was sold out too, as were most of the other dates that were available that week. So this show seems to be doing incredibly well, and I hope it continues to do well because by God does it deserve it. So let's talk about the show then. Let's dive into the plot. What is the plot of Dracula, a comedy of terrors? Absolute chaos. And to tell you more would genuinely spoil the show, so next, let's talk about the cast then, because these 5 people are just bloody marvellous. So the cast of this, we have got James Daly or Daly playing Dracula. We have got Safina Lada playing Lucy and many other roles. We have got Dianne Pilkington playing Dr. Westfield, Renfield, and many others. We have got Charlie Stem playing Jonathan Harker and others, and we have got Sebastian Torkia playing Mina Van Helsing and others as well. Every single person in this cast is doing a diabolically amazing job. I could not praise them anymore. I knew I was going into something that was going to be whimsical and funny and very, very camp and very, very queer, but I did not know how incredible it was going to be. I saw from the different clips that we had online that they were very, very good, very, very funny, but the way that they work, the commitment they have to all of their roles, the way that they just bring you, suck you, pun intended, into the story with them, it's just insane. Considering it's a light and whimsical comedy piece, I was expecting it to be sort of very panto-esque, and there was quite a lot of elements of that in the best way possible, because I'm a Brit, we love our panto, but it was also just so well executed. Everyone was having fun with it, but they were also taking it seriously. They were doing it properly, if that makes sense. Fellow theatre kids out there, I think you'll get what I mean by this. It wasn't just fun and lighthearted. It was also, everyone was in it and in the moments and in their characters. It was just so joyful to watch, and they all looked like they were having a fantastic time. So what was great about this show then? Well, honestly, everything, but I will try to break it down just a little bit and not give you too many spoilers. Also, on a quick side note, but also not, because it was one of the great things about the show, as we were all coming in to sit down, they had some fantastic music playing, and as someone who is learning Russian currently, I could understand a good chunk of it, which was quite marvellous and sensational for me. As I was sitting there, I was doing what a lot of other people around me were doing, and shazamming a lot of the music to try and get it so I could put it onto my playlists. If there is a playlist out there of all the songs that you used, if anyone involved with the show at all ever watches this video, please dear God will you release it, because I want that entire playlist. It was all just so much fun. I'm going to read from my notes here because I wrote this down and it's the best way I can think of to describe it. So this show is a riot, quite literally from start to finish. The lights come up on 4 of our main cast, introducing the show in a witty, fast-paced shared monologue, and from there we change scenes at the speed of light. We go from a cart to a castle to a bedroom invite you to a party, and on it goes. It also has to be said as well that one of the biggest flexes this show has is its timing. It's comedy timing between its cast, but also the tech crew and everyone working backstage. The timing was immaculate. Those lights going, the sound cues, particularly the sound cues, because there were a lot of very fast-paced jokes that would not have landed if those sound cues had not been dead on every single time. It was not just clearly very well rehearsed, but also just very well engaged with everyone was on it all the time. And as someone who has said many times in the past, I hate filler. I hate feeling like I'm just sitting in something for the sake of it, being there and biding some time. This show had none of it. I am so delighted to say this show is a 90-minute riot with no filler whatsoever. You are on the edge of your seat, you are laughing, you are following everything that's happening. At no point is there a lull. It's always heightened energy all the time, whether it's a scene full of tension, a scene full of comedy, a scene full of, well, sexual miscreants. Anything that is happening, you are watching, you are engaged. There is not a single moment where I was out of it at all. I was involved from the moment the lights came up to the end of the finale bows. Now, as I said before, like many other people I expect, I was drawn into this show by seeing Dracula himself. This was a huge part of their promo. Lots of the images that they have is of Dracula lounging in his sexy outfit, or that scene where he's coming through the door. And while they were brilliant, huge, wonderful moments, and James is stunning in the role of Dracula, he is not the only reason to see this show. It might be the main reason why people got into it or saw it online in the first place. Hands up, guilty about that. But also there is so much more to it. Everyone is worth it. There is not a single person in this cast who is not worth going to see. Everyone is spectacular in their own ways. And genuinely, I think that if there was advertising campaigns centered around each one of them individually, you would draw the same number of people because they are just fabulous. I, in particular, have to give a massive shout out to Dianne, who was playing not just so many roles, but so quickly. There were some quick changes that Dianne had, and I won't say between which characters in case that's a spoiler, but there were some quick changes that beat out Annie in Peter Pan Goes Wrong, and we know how fast those ones were if you've watched anything on this channel or the Peter Pan Lore channel, and this was quicker, just as funny, and it left you genuinely speechless. You could hear the ripples of whoa as Dianne would walk back on in a new outfit, playing a new character who had at some points been quite literally speaking to the other character. It felt at points like Dianne walked off as one character and turned around and walked back on as the other with barely a blink in between. It was stunning work. From an actor's point of view, being able to change from character to character and voice to voice. Also, of course, the backstage crew, incredibly on it. Everybody as well, with the exception of James, who only played Dracula, everyone who was playing multiple roles did a beautiful job of conveying different people, not just through different costumes, but different voices, different ways of acting, even characters who were only seen for a few minutes and then never again. Van Helsing and Menier were a delight to see come to life in very different ways, and every single person who played a different character, from the ship's captain to members of the household staff, every character was incredibly well thought out, well presented. You could tell the difference between every single one of them, to the point where sometimes you were going, wait, who's playing this character? Because you just could not tell that it was the same actor. As a cosplayer and costume maker and theatre kid, of course the costuming was going to be a huge thing that I was drawn to, and I was not disappointed in the slightest. From the beautiful lace, which I have tried to emanate here today, the beautiful lace that Dracula was wearing, the long coats, the beautiful jackets they had, oh, Lucy's dress, Mina's dress too, Van Helsing's entire outfit, everything was absolutely sumptuous. Each character had their own sort of colour palette, you could tell them apart instantly. It was absolutely beautiful, a joy to watch, and so much detailing too. I have to say, my favourite piece that I desperately want to replicate was a waistcoat that Dracula wore, and it had a lace-up corset down the back. It was beautiful shades of sort of floral blue with blacky purple, and the lace up down the back with a sort of almost bustly train at the back as well. Absolutely gorgeous. At one point when James turned around while wearing this corset and you saw the back for the first time, I and a few other people around me went, ooh, because it was just beautiful and I desperately want it. Overall though, the biggest compliment I can give to Dracula: A Comedy of Terrors is it feels like genuine fun. When you're watching the people on stage, it feels like they actually enjoy each other's presence. They're not just enjoying a moment for themselves, they're not just having fun in and of themselves, but they're having fun with and for each other as well. It feels like watching a tight-knit, close group of people performing something they absolutely adore, who absolutely adore each other. And that is a feeling that you don't always get when you watch productions. 10 out of 10, nothing I would change. This show is immaculate. I hope it goes on to all the success in the entire world, and at some point, please, dear Lord, a pro shot, because everyone needs to see this show. So please go and watch Dracula, A Comedy of Terrors if you can. If you can't, then just keep engaging with their social media, watching the videos, giving them views, giving them likes, giving them comments, boost their momentum so that they can hopefully keep doing more and more with this show, and hopefully more other things besides, because this group of people is clearly incredibly talented. That brings us to the end of this week's Monday Madness. I am going to go and sorrowfully take this off because I have many other things I need to do today, including painting, and this does not feel like an outfit appropriate for painting because I don't want to get paint all over it. Have a wonderful rest of your week, my wonderful jelly spoons. I will see you incredibly soon. On Friday, I will bring out a part of the OC story. I will try to make it a little bit longer to make up for missing last week. Thank you for engaging with my content. Please go watch some more of it. I love you all. Goodbye. I have fangs again, and this is just incredibly amazing. I'm wearing my Saya wig as well, which makes me think of Saya as a vampire, and now I can't get that out of my head.